trying to play them, wanting to be them. And I know what you're thinking. There's been a lot of conversation about the representation of women in video games. They look awful, they're very sexualized, and all that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I want to talk about how women sound in video games.
Please stop! Please don't! What? No! How? This is wrong!
It is a shame what has happened to modern video games and modern women because of feminism. I've always been against feminism ever since I was a kid, as it has made women into miserable, unhappy creatures. Listen, ladies, the gender war is over, and the fact that y'all want to get into the gaming industry to make women unattractive and ugly in games because you feel insecure and you feel lonely and will hit the wall before 40. Look, I don't care if you are a female gamer or not. I'm a female gamer, and I noticed right off the bat how many men are emasculated in media, how many female characters are overpowered, how many female protagonists we see in games every single year, because these are feminist women who get into gaming. The same women who want men to pay for all their bills, want them to pay for their car and their debt in college, and won't even cook and clean. Men these days aren't even asking for much. They ain't asking for Gordon Ramsay in the kitchen, and they are not asking for Amelia Bedelia. All they are asking for is dinner at home and the house cleaned enough. But no, these feminists hate men, so they want to invade male spaces. This isn't a conspiracy theory, this isn't some right-wing quite crazy thoughts. No, this is real. These blue-haired crazy women want to invade male spaces because they hate men, and they want to get into the gaming industry to make self-insert Mary Sue's because they want to push an agenda. That's all this is. It's not just women either. It's weak men that allow this to happen.
Middle school that I play video games with.
It has this big problem too. Because
It's just lazy. It feels like unless you're getting paid, and there's a line, right?
So we can't do anything unless we're getting paid? What about when you guys watch Real Housewives? Or Hollywood, something extra? What about Keeping Up with the Kardashians? You're not getting paid to do that. You're not getting paid to scroll Instagram. What are you talking about?
It's cool if you want to do it every so often, but to me, I'm like, go educate. Go do something productive.
But what is the problem?
Yeah, for real.
And
why do we always have to be productive? See, this is my whole thing. It's like women just hate to see men comfortable. They hate to see us having a good time.
Men need to start being men, put women in their place, and stop letting them ruin games by putting ugly, gay, feminine male characters and Mary Sue's into games. Again, this isn't a conspiracy, this is reality. Just look at all the games from the 90s to 2013. Masculine characters left and right and feminine women. And this is not to say characters like Lara Croft are bad, because she still looks like a woman and she isn't overpowered. Nowadays, we see these man-jawed, ugly female characters with the same Overwatch cringe art style. And that's another thing too, is the art style. Why does every single game have to have this pastel art style or Tumblr art style? If I boot up a game and the first thing I see is this, you've already lost me at being a new player for the video game. But that's an argument for another time. This is about feminism after all, not art style. There is absolutely no reason why these women have to shit on traditional values. God, man, that's so dumb. These women who work on games that are liberal, saying that femininity and traditional masculinity is bad, as if women these days are so disgusted with masculinity and just aren't brainwashed. I see so many stories of women becoming CEOs or big business women that are miserable because they are taught to be strong and independent and that you don't need no man. But they are miserable. These women are so miserable. We're not made to work. Women were not made to work. For decades, they wanted to work alongside men, and now they want to all go home. They put their misery on everyone else because they are hitting the wall. Men aren't approaching them anymore. They turn their hair green to work in these industries because they have nothing else to do. This isn't generalization. Look at statistics. Look at women waking up and crying about how not having a husband or kids because they wasted their life getting all these degrees, trying to one-up men to be breadwinners. But that doesn't help in a relationship. Men generally do not care about money or how much you work. Is this all men? No, obviously not. But in reality, most men do not care about your money, ladies, or how intelligent you are. And most women don't understand that until it's too late. But no, these higher-ups at Activision or Blizzard or whoever, they don't care if women are going down a dark path. They want your money. And then you have idiots like Dead Domain who pretend to be women, pretend they know anything about women's issues. Sir, you are a sir, you are a man, you have no idea how true women act, you are not a woman, you are a person who puts on a woman's costume, and you make a whole hit piece on Synthetic Man acting like you know anything about women's issues or how modern women act. Yes, Domain, it is true, if you approach a woman, there is a chance you could get arrested. But again, this video isn't about that. The reason I'm discussing all this is because all these issues leads to feminization of games today. And I won't go into the deep rabbit hole with what we call in the gaming industry space toucans. But feminism enough is a big reason for the pussification of games because more women are playing games, which doesn't sound bad on paper, and then you see the game Stardew Valley get popular and it all makes sense. Look, I really don't know what to say. You know, I hate feminist. I've always hated feminist. I've always noticed, throughout the 2000s, how games are becoming less and less masculine. You see the Warhammer game that came out recently, and you're just like, wow, that is such a breath of fresh air. Which is kind of funny, because of a game like that, Warhammer Space Marine came out 6 years ago. Everybody would be like, oh, that game is so generic. But yeah, I really don't know what to say. We've all been saying this stuff for 7 years at this point. I don't know any real gamer who looks at modern games and says, yeah, this is fine. It's because they aren't real gamers. They didn't grow up in a time when games were still good. They're idiot consumers who just consume product. To, some casuals and feminists call out games. Yes, sometimes they do. But when they buy every Call of Duty or shitty Assassin's Creed game, then I don't care. They are still supporting the industry. I don't care if they call it The Last of Us Part 2. Everybody agrees that game is bad. And everyone will continue to buy these shitty games, like the new Japanese Assassin's Creed game, because people are idiots. Yeah, don't care about the fact that a black samurai in that era has like rap music playing behind him. It's like the most racist thing I've ever seen, but whatever. Yeah, Dead Domain, yeah. There's no racism or wokeness in games. And everyone will continue to buy the shitty games. No one understands gaming quality anymore. Everyone just buys whatever's the next popular thing, or whatever game in a franchise they already care about. It doesn't matter how bad it is. I think Pokemon fans are the worst in this regard, but whatever. Again, we're not really talking about that. That'll be for another time. I think about all the women who complain about the 1950s and how bad it was. And then you remember how men had to go off to war and get their legs blown off, possibly never seeing their families again, and women sat at home with nice air conditioners. Wow, you women had it so bad. This is all for an ego thing and want to be better than men. That's all feminism was from the beginning, and like I said, feminism has ruined gaming and ruined women. You can see this in a lot of games, or remakes of something, like the Battletoads thing. They took out the pretty femme fatale and replaced it with this stick figure. Until women rise up wanting all feminism gone, and things to go back to the way it was, women will continue to damage themselves until the end of time. They will continue to damage video games as well because they want to invade male spaces. This has been a problem for at least 10 years. So that's my take on this. If you enjoy right-wing gaming videos from a woman's perspective, men, then I hope you enjoy the content, and see y'all in the next one.